Hi, so today we're joined by the awesome ladies from Charm on Second. I'm joined by Rachel Bayerle and Nicole Putman.
Hello.
Thanks for talking with me today. We also have special guests. We have their dogs in the house today. I just wanted to start out by asking, how long has Charm been in Birmingham, and who originally opened it, and how did you guys take over?
Okay, so Charm was opened by, in my opinion, a Birmingham celebrity, Chatham Helmers, and she's had a bunch of stores in town. And I think Charm was probably her favorite baby to open, from what she has said to me. And that was, I think, almost 12 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
So it's been in the neighborhood for quite a while, and for me personally, it was one of the first boutique stores that I stopped in when I moved to Birmingham. And I just want to say, from when Chatham owned it to now, that sense of just acceptance when you walk in the doors has always been there. And so I think you guys are a real treasure to our community.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you guys operating during COVID? Has anything changed? Are you operating on different hours?
We're actually open fewer hours right now. During Christmas, we extended our hours because it was the holidays and we knew we would be busy. But after the holidays, we decided to look at the times when we're the busiest and be open during those times. So right now we're open from noon to 5 Monday through Friday, and then 10 to 4 on Saturdays.
Awesome. And I just wanted to also touch on the importance of self-care and how that kind of correlates with Charm. And you guys aren't just carrying beautiful pieces of unique jewelry and even puzzles and accessories, but also I've noticed through your social media that you promote self-care and self-love. And I was wondering if you could talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's something that has surfaced in the last couple of years, especially how important mental health is and how that is intertwined with self-love and appreciation. And the world has just gotten so nonstop. Even during quarantine, that slowed some people down, even myself, but we don't have enough time for ourselves, and we get kind of lost in almost hating ourselves a lot, looking just at all of the negative. And I think having a place that's like a jewelry store / therapy stop.
Totally.
It is. That's how we became friends.
Absolutely.
The thing is, it was that for Chatham too. She used to tell me all about it, and customers still come in and talk to me about how Chatham was their therapist, their jewelry therapist, and it's really nice. It helps me too, because I talk to these mostly women as well, and it's just also the buying an accessory that makes you feel good about how you look. It's kind of really nice. It's possibly why I love jewelry so much. It's something that will look good on every single person. It's not a shirt that isn't going to fit. It's not going to make you feel bad about yourself. It's going to really empower you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like Parks and Rec, where they say treat yourself. I mean, it's important, to treat yourself. And I just love, again, that feeling of acceptance when you walk into Charm, and just even being there and talking with you and seeing, other people come in and their faces are just bright and happy as soon as they walk in, because they know it's a place of love and warmth. And also, I think it's really important that the community should know about the projects that you guys have given back to and have supported and worked along with in the city. I know that you guys carry a lot of local artist jewelry, as well as have supported nonprofits. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
So some of our local artists are Lisa Ayers. She's been a friend of mine pretty much my entire life. We went to elementary school together. And so one thing, the reason I say that is because we try to bring in people that we know already and support them, because they may have social media or Etsy, but sometimes they need a different avenue to where they can connect more with people. And a lot of times we have them come and pop up at the shop. So when we had our reopening, we had several of our local makers there to pop up. And I don't know, I just feel like it gives kind of a more of a sense of community when we can really bond with those people and make lasting friendships. I've made several friends just through Charm. And then as far as our nonprofits go, we like to donate to local nonprofits, and a lot of times we'll sell something and then donate the proceeds. And Rachel
Donate
can
to
a little more. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Donate to raffles as well. That's, I mean,
Oh yes, all the time.
That's
yeah.
very generous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to say, like, and commend you ladies for a few months back how you supported the community when we were trying to get the statue out of downtown, and your response to people, you know, being very upset that the statue didn't come down, and your store was actually damaged.
Yeah.
And I just thought that your response to that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
That, you know, it was damaged, but you felt the community's pain, and that was most important. And that was just so selfless of you. And I don't know, I feel like more business owners should be like you ladies, because you're amazing.
Yeah, I feel like Birmingham had a really good response to that situation.
Overall. Yeah.
I think overall it did.
Not to say that other businesses didn't. I should definitely edit that.
Yeah. No.
But, you know,
we also,
yeah,
we kind of mentally prepared ourselves for the possibility of what could happen, because we knew that there were going to be protests, and we knew the things that were going on across the country. We've been reading in the news, and we empathize with what's going on. Like, that's super important. And so we had a discussion about it. Actually, I think it was that morning. What are we going to do? How can we prepare ourselves? And so I feel like us having that discussion kind of helped us to prepare. We felt a little more ready, and we understand what's going on. We've seen what's happened in the past, and so I feel like us just having a discussion helped. It helped us to have a better understanding of what's going on in our community too.
I think that's possibly the most important part, is to keep the discussions going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just especially as like two white women owning a business, I think it's important for us to be leaders, in a sense, to be like, hey, we are here to help you, and like, we're here to not stand in your way, but even help amplify your voice in any possible way that we can. Yeah.
I think, you know, coming from like a minority standpoint, I think that it's really refreshing to feel that support, as you know, in particular from the white community, and to, I guess, during even COVID, to know that, you know, that we're all supported and that we're all part of this, you know, dialogue that's going on. In part, and this is probably going to be edited right here, but like, that will probably be like in the long version of the interview. But so I kind of want to go over, move over to like your personal, like, let's move over to like more of your what you're doing during COVID, and a little bit more about you. So like, are you both from Birmingham, or are you from different parts in Alabama?
I'm from Coleman.
Okay.
But I've lived here since I was 20, on and off. So I'm a Birmingham person for sure.
I love Birmingham that way. It kind of just sucks you in, you know?
It really does.
Yeah. I've been here since 1999. The first 12 years of my life I lived in Huntsville. But yeah, 1999, started 7th grade, was in high school downtown. I'm like a downtown Birmingham full-on sporty person.
So how did you two meet? Like, have you been lifelong friends? And how did you both? I don't know if I ask like how you both kind of decided to own Charm together.
So I actually did Rachel's hair for years, and that's how we met. So the therapy thing kind of comes naturally. I've heard some stuff doing hair, but and so I moved to Colorado, and then I came back and we reconnected, and I wasn't doing hair anymore, but we still went out for margaritas a lot. So
yeah,
Rachel, I'll let you tell the story.
She moved back and like was randomly my neighbor. And I've known her brother for longer than her, and like our stupid exes knew each other, and that's how she got to do my hair. And the bond that you have with your hairdresser is like almost no other.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was working at Charm and had been for 8 years for Chatham, and Chatham kept hounding me about buying the shop from her, and I didn't think she was serious until she was all of a sudden very, very serious. And she said, you need a friend to help because this shit is crazy. And so Nicole and I were out drinking, celebrating the victory of Doug Jones.
And, there was lots of whiskey involved.
There were shots. Yeah, it was great. It was Rojo. And I just jokingly, drunkenly brought it up to her, and she was just totally on board. And I woke up the next morning and she had like basically drafted everything to make it happen. That's at least that's what it feels like. So she's definitely the like type A, like go-getter of the team. So like that type of thing, she was just like, I'm on it, done.
What was it that you made me? The saint of spreadsheets?
Yes, the saint of spreadsheets. That is who you...
Yeah. I know where everything is, though.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. So what has brought you joy during this time, this weird COVID time? And have you carried out things like maybe that brought you joy before COVID into this time in your life? Or what new things have you discovered that make you happy? Who wants to start?
My life didn't stop. If anything, for a while it got more complicated. Just because I was battling, because I also run a restaurant here in town. So I was like battling with trying to be safe there. And Charm was shut down. And honestly, it's kind of a good thing for me. Because I think I would have been crying every single day if I had to do both. But if anything, it made me love Charm more, because I realized I wasn't happy at the restaurant, and I missed being at the shop. I missed my jewelry babies. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So would you say that like Charm is the thing in your life that brings you joy? Because that's pretty beautiful.
Charm is definitely one of the things that brings me joy. Yeah. Nicole will tell you I love going into the back room and like slowly organizing jewelry, and then I come out with like 20 different pieces that I'm wearing.
Yeah, so. She always has more on than she actually. She's like, I have this to put on the floor, and then she's like draped in. Yeah, I really missed that. I like to have a routine, and I like to have things Like, it was hard for me to do things at home that I was used to doing at Charm, like, especially when it came to like organizing financial stuff. And I know it sounds weird, but I like doing that stuff. Like, I like to know all of those things. But when I was home, it was like all of the energy was kind of sucked out of me. I was kind of drained, which was weird because mostly I was just crafting and like making masks, and I fostered some kittens.
Oh, nice.
I don't think I could have made it without
no big deal. You're just, fostering a bunch of lives.
Right over here because I adopted one.
Oh,
but I feel like being away from it made it harder for me to really. I miss connecting with people too. I think, to me, my favorite thing about Charm is the connections that we make in the community, because I really started to realize that when we were home quarantining, because I didn't go anywhere to see anyone. I was just here. If I went to Charm, it was to pick some stuff up. I took a lot of photos and put stuff online and did online stuff, but it's just not the same as being there in person when your customers come in and you can make those new friendships and connections like you. Hopefully we can meet in person soon.
Yes. Yeah, I totally understand. I started this interview program series when COVID hit, but it was something that I'd like always wanted to do, because in graduate school we had done like an oral histories, like art history thing where we were interviewing all these artists in Birmingham to kind of put in our archives forever. And so I'd always wanted to do something like that at the library, but like in video, like something that I selfishly could look back on and be like, I remember talking to these people. And then like coincidentally, like I still like in some way or another still communicate with everybody that I've interviewed, which I think is like the best part, it's like, because I don't really talk to people in public. I mean, obviously at work, but like I'm not as like outgoing as I used to be, because life makes you jaded when you get older. But this has just been just like, I think this has been one of the greatest things that has brought me joy. And I love that Charm has given y'all that as well. Which I love. You love to see it, when somebody's business is their passion. That's that's just the best.
I think it makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Like, because there's so many people that work or have businesses who are just miserable, or it's just so stressful that you have to, and then it's like you almost want to ask them, like, is it worth it? But like for you ladies, like having Charm, it seems like it has added so much to your lives. And I just love that you guys are here. I like tell everybody about you guys. I'm like, you have to go. This background is how it makes me feel. Like I'm just always like, yeah, every time I go inside. But so I wanted to ask you kind of a library question. So what books and films have you watched and read lately, or what are some of your favorites?
Oh my gosh, good. I brought my stack. Okay. So what I'm reading right now, a Queen Victoria biography. It's so giant. I just got really obsessed with her in the last like month.
After watching The Great?
No, so I watched The Great, which is amazing. And then I started watching a Queen Victoria show, which is also really good. And then I was like, how am I not a queen? What do I need to do to become one? So I started doing my research, basically. Yeah, also she had just like a really weird life. She was like married to her cousin, but they were like super in love, and she was like kind of really mean to all her children. She also did these like really great things for her like little kingdom. So yeah, so it's been interesting. And then my favorite author, Agatha Christie.
Nice.
Because I mean, amazing. She's the best. She was the best. And her books are just super like fun and easy to read, and like you don't have to I just sit in my hammock with my heater on. And yeah, it's nice.
I think those are both great choices. And what about you, Nicole? What have you been watching and reading?
So I am a nonfiction person usually. I prefer to read to learn about something. So right now I'm actually learning about plants, and one of the books I'm reading is about tea because I want to grow my own herbs this summer so that I can make my own tea.
Ooh.
I don't have it in here, but
please tell us about that.
Rachel's like,
please
what?
give us an update.
I'm gonna surprise you with some, but
I'm drinking tea that Nicole gave me right here.
So that's what inspired me. I went to New Orleans to a tea house, and the tea was so beautiful, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can grow this stuff and make my own and make it really beautiful and give it to my friends and my family. And so right now I'm learning about that.
House inside of Charm.
Yeah, we could do that. And then I'm also
nice.
really into house plants, so I'm learning about them. And we're actually planning a trip to Costa Rica, so
beautiful.
I'm reading.
Have you been there?
I have the Costa Rica book right here. And then I read like Nat Geo and stuff like that too. So I can't remember the last nonfiction book I read. The last book I read was the Radium Girls. And I know there's a show now based on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I was gonna say, if you've never been to Costa Rica, it's beautiful.
I'm so excited.
It's like I went to an all-inclusive resort with my parents like years ago, and there were monkeys everywhere, and it was just wonderful. I would feed them every morning, and they would tell me not to, but I'd be like, "Yourself piece of bread."
You're like,
don't feed them. Yes, okay, I won't feed them. Here you are.
I'm like, shh, take this.
It was just kind of random. They had super cheap flights one day. Someone told us about this website, and we got lucky and found them before they all sold out. So we were like, let's just go ahead and buy tickets because they're so cheap. And it's like in the summer. So my husband's vaccinated for COVID. Hopefully I'll be vaccinated before then. But we're also working with a local travel planner to help us figure out the safest way to do everything. And she's working with locals there so that we can make sure that we're not doing anything to put anyone else in jeopardy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I also remember there was a pool there that you could swim up to the bar and like sit in the bar, and like my sister was like 15 at the time, and I just remember being like, do you want a margarita? And she's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, come on, you can get drunk here. And I was like,
no one will know.
Yeah, I was like absolutely plastered the whole time. It was so much fun. I put lime on everything. Like the food was delicious. I never wanted to come back. Like you land in the middle of nowhere, and then usually like they'll shuttle you to wherever you're going. But like their airports there are just yes. It's an adventure. I want to do that I want to go to Greece, like, because it's, I mean, unfortunately really cheap to fly there, but because of, their economy, which is what I hate. It's like, oh, it's really cheap. Yeah. That's because people like make their money out of tourism, but I still am going to go whenever I get a vaccine. I'm going to drink that vaccine. I'm just going to like, okay, so that will be in the long version on my personal YouTube. But so the last thing I want to talk about is like, what collaborations and projects do you envision for Charm's future, besides the beautiful tea that you'll be making starting this summer?
I don't know if I can grow that much this year, but maybe in the future. I don't know what we have so much going on right now. Mostly I know we just want to bring in more local makers for pop-ups and do things like that.
And how can Oh, I'm sorry. So, how can local artists get in touch with you about, like, do you have like a process of like carrying local artist jewelry and their handmade goods?
Yeah, I mean, right now with COVID, the best way would be through Instagram or email, um, sending us pictures and prices. Like wholesale prices are pretty necessary for us because we are so small, and it is like it is mainly costume jewelry and like funny knickknacks. So it's not anything that's like too high end. Like our clientele is everyone. It's something that's affordable to everyone, and that's what we like about it. So we're looking for artists that kind of cater to the same audience. Yeah.
And sorry, I like kind of brain fart. So, what are some of the projects that you have going on right now over at Charm? I know that you had mentioned that you have like so much going on, and I know that you just had the Valentine series from Studio 264.
So I think lately what's been happening is we have this little girl business group almost. And it's like a bunch of the local makers and business owners in the city. We're all kind of like connected, and we have this like ongoing group chat happening, and just to kind of help promote each other and find like where we can fit each other into, like fit local makers into the shops, and the shops fitting like helping local makers with prices and stuff like that. So it's starting to become just a little like female empowerment business community. And there have been discussions about like eventually taking that further and like doing a once a month market, or maybe having a workspace venue with all of us in it one day or something, like, I mean, COVID definitely has paused a lot of projects.
Right.
And that's one reason we're not doing pop-ups right now, because it's cold. And when we had our reopening, it was like they were outside and they were all freezing by the end of the day. And so we haven't been having pop-ups because of COVID. We don't feel like it's safe for someone to pop up inside and then for a lot of people to be coming in all at the same time. And so we're ready for spring so that we can start bringing those people into the shop and they can kind of get their name out into the community too.
Absolutely. I think, I'm not from Alabama, but I've learned that springtime is like a much coveted season here because people do not like the cold. I personally like the cold, but I'm strange. Well, I'm from both San Francisco and from Georgia. I flew basically every 3 or 4 months to visit both parents on both coasts. So I'm from nowhere. I'm from everywhere, basically.
That's cool, though.
So I just like the cold, but maybe it was from my time in the Bay Area, because I really did like the breeze, because it never like quite leaves you out there. But I am looking forward to spring, and I'm looking forward to all the great projects that you ladies are going to be involved with and create, and all the beautiful things that are going to come your way. And I just want to thank you again for talking with me this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are amazing. And yeah, so for all of our viewers, if you want to learn more about Charm, just pop into their shop over on 2nd Avenue North. And you can check out their website and also Instagram. All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you.
So, okay.